Hello, good morning. It's Tuesday, and here we are, right? How's everybody doing? I've got my tea ready. How about you? Do you have your coffee? I like to envision that we're just all sitting in a nice little, I don't know, coffee shop or living room and just having tea or coffee together. So let's see. I'm going to tag a few people here. So let's see. Who is this? Christy Kramer. Good morning. Hi, Lisa. I'll wave to you. Lisa, it's asking me if I want to bring you on camera. Are you available to come on camera? Hi, Brenda. Good morning. Good morning. Davida, is that how you say your name? How pretty. And Sherry, good morning. Doing me a little thumbs up wave. Yay, I love that. I love to acknowledge everybody that's on when I can. I don't always see all the names, so I always try to mention it when I see that. So let me know. Send me a little wave would be great. We're going to talk about a couple of things this morning. One is the fact that you have clout, whether you know it or not. And do you even know what the word is? It's not a word that we use very much. Like somebody, they have clout. You kind of know, but it's not really a word that we use a lot. But I'm going to talk a little bit about that this morning. Somebody said hello. Was that Brenda that said hello to me this morning? Hi, Alicia. Good morning, honey. Nice to see you. Miss Kathy, good morning. Looks like Kansas City is checking in. So we have Vegas and Kansas City. Yippee. Davida, I'm not sure if I'm saying your name right, but where are you? I don't know what city that you live in. Oh, I'm getting little hearts. Thank you for that. All right, checking down. So what's it like? Let's just talk a little casual talk this morning. Actually, if you notice, you probably can't because I use inside and outside light, but this morning we have a little cloud cover coming in and we might actually get rain today. And y'all, we really need the rain. I think Kansas City, y'all have plenty of rain, but here in Vegas, we could use a little rain. It would be nice. Oh, you are in Buffalo, New York. Woo! Yay! How nice. Love to hear from the East Coast. We don't get too many people from out there, but I love it. So share the word. We're on here. I'm on here every Tuesday morning. So it is later there. So you must be about 10:30 already, right? You've got part of your day already going here in Las Vegas. It is just 7:30, so I'm just getting my day started. All right, I'm going to just a couple of things before we get started. I'm going to do a little personal announcement and chat with you guys. Yesterday, mainly because yesterday it was just so fun. I have a guy that I work with, and Charlene, boarding in Chicago, going to Toronto. Oh my gosh! Hi, Charlene. That is just so nice that you're doing that. Thanks for checking in and putting it up in the chat box. So yesterday I was at the studio, and it's Larry Walker. He is the one who's done all my recordings. He played live piano at our event that we had last August. He does all of my sound production when I record music or speaking things. And so yesterday I was in the studio beginning to record the messages for Surge. Now, I want to talk to y'all just a little bit about Surge. And, I very seldom do my own little commercials, but Surge is just such a way for me to reach out to all of you and for all of us to connect together. Because here's the thing. We are a village. It takes a village for us to do all the things that we want to do in our lives and in our business. And just imagine as we grow across the country, because we have Davida that's out in New York, and I talked to a lady, Annette, in Seattle, Washington a couple of days ago, and we've got a couple of gals that are in Atlanta, and we know we've got Vegas and we've got Kansas City, and I think we've got a couple gals, ladies that check in with us in Texas. But imagine as we begin to grow and expand, how great it will be that your connections will expand as well. It's about how you can connect with each other, not just with me, but with each other in your businesses or in your expertise. Because sometimes as women, when we're going through things, whether it's a hard time or a struggle, it could be just you need ideas and you just like to say, I'm thinking about this. Does anybody have any ideas or does anybody have any thoughts? And those of us that love to share, and there's most of us that do, that love to share ideas. Mary Kay used to say, if I have one idea and you have one idea, we each have one. But if I give you mine and you share yours with me, then we each have two. Well, expand that out. And so there's maybe, I don't know, already this morning, 15, 20 people on just checking in now on this call. And what if we all connected through our other things? And that's what Surge is about, connecting through Facebook, a secret Facebook group for just Surge people. We'll have our own private Zoom call, mentoring, coaching call that will be about what do you need? What questions do you have? What would help you in your business? What's your greatest struggle? How can we come alongside and encourage and inspire each other? That is what Surge is about. Now, yeah, it also means that if we hold local meetings in your area, that you don't have to pay your $5 to come to lunch. But that is so minimal in what Surge really wants to do for you. And those of y'all that are just checking in now, yes, I am doing a little commercial about the new membership program. And this is not going to be the whole call, so just don't get all worried about it. But I want you to know the purpose. I want you to really understand how this is designed for you, for your growth. And Surge, what it stands for is to shine your light. Some of you don't even want to shine your light. And you say, well, I don't want to shine my light. Well, the truth is you're shining anyway. You're either making a difference in this world, and that's where we're going to get to on Clout in just a few minutes. So to shine your light, whether it's just in one-on-one with people in your family or one-on-one, a best friend, someone who needs you, someone in your church, you have influence and you are making a difference in the world. And then to unleash your power, because you each have power. God has designed you for greatness for him. He's given you a power of love. He's given you a power to share that with other people, because we're not here to just walk the world alone. We're here to make a difference. And the next one is to rejuvenate your spirit, because you know what? Sometimes it just gets hard. Sometimes you just get tired and you just need a little shot in the arm, something to fill your spirit, something to give you a new inspiration. Would y'all agree with that? And y'all can send me little notes. That would be great. G is to grow in confidence. And as I've been doing the confidence mirror, and y'all can go on to my website and on the front page and go to the confidence mirror, and it doesn't cost you anything. You just take this little survey and it gives you an idea of the areas where you feel really strong and where you feel really confident, and areas where you don't. Well, Surge is going to be giving you more information, more ways to help grow in those areas that you want to grow and to get better. And then the last one is the E, just to energize your life, because you know what? Sometimes you just need a little energy, right? And so that is what Surge is for. It's a way of bringing us together, to network together, to share ideas, to share our trials. Sometimes it's just nice to know that somebody else has already walked in those kind of shoes. Yes, each of our life and our journey is different, but there are similarities, and you may have gone through something that is able to help someone else. And I'm going to use Kathy Weaver, because I know she's so open to sharing. But Kathy has experienced a lot of death in her life, and so she now has written a book on how to walk through that journey, and how those of us who maybe haven't had as much experience with that, in her book, she talks about the things that you can say to someone who has experienced that death, has had someone pass away. And that's a way she is reaching out, many other ways as well. But you have something, you have a journey, you've had life circumstances that can help other people. That is what Surge is all about. So that, I just wanted to give you that little information, because I was talking to someone yesterday and she wasn't really sure, well, really, what do I need it for? She's a pretty self-motivating person and didn't really feel like she really needed it. But it's not saying by joining doesn't mean that you're saying, gosh, I need a lot of help. The truth is, I think most of us do need help along the way. We do need ideas. I reach out for ideas from people all the time. I have, I've actually 2 coaches of my own that I reach out to so that I can always stay equipped to help any of you, to mentor or to coach. So the way you can go to Surge and at least watch the video and learn about it. And y'all, it's going to cost you about 67 cents a day. All right, we're not talking about a big, thousands of dollar program here. This is something to just guide you, help you reach out to more people, grow your personal confidence, and to grow your business as well. So go to Delinda Lane, and y'all know how to spell the name, right? Layne, DelindaLane.com/surge, SURGE. So, and if one of y'all wanted to just post that for me, because I can't do a chat post at the same time. Now, in the Shine Your Light, so that beginning part of Surge where I was talking about that, I want to talk to you about clout. Now, I'm going to recommend a book to you, and the book was written by Jenny Catron, Catron, and it's called Clout. And it's all about how you have clout. And clout is that influence that you have on other people. And we're influencing people every day, whether in big ways or small ways, whether positive or negative. We're making a difference. We're touching people's lives every day. And so when you think about that, it would be good, if we would concentrate and focus a little bit about what is the message that you're wanting to do. Thank you, Jennifer, for posting that. I appreciate that. So, we all take notice of of course, the Donald Trumps. Of course, he is president, but even before he was president, he was always in the news. Doing stuff, the winners of American Idol, people on The Voice, the Warren Buffetts of the world. Now, these are celebrity, Tiger Woods. There's so many. I mean, you can't even list how many there are. But those are the celebrities. And you always think of them because they do make huge influence on the world and the area, around them. And they have what we call the it factor, or the X factor sometimes. I call it the wow factor because that's what I believe it is. Everybody has a wow factor. And maybe where you are, you just need to know what that wow factor is. I would love to help you discover that. And it's really, it's a great process. And the first way to begin to discover that in yourself is to look at your life and think about what is it that you just love to do. The thing that's so easy for you that you don't even think it's a big deal. I mean, that's kind of what it is. And some of y'all know my story that, I've always been a singer. I've been singing since I was a little girl. And it wasn't until about maybe 10 years ago, something like that, I was working with a coach, and I said to her at our very first appointment, I was hiring her as an artist coach because I had just finished I have 2 CDs. I just finished my first one. And I wanted to know, what's my next step? I mean, I'm stuck. I did all the social media I knew how to do. I did the Facebook ads. I had a new website. I was so excited. And I thought, okay, finally, it's happening. So my very first appointment with her, she said, well, Delinda, she says, I know what your problem is. And wait a minute. We haven't even had a full conversation yet. How can you know my problem? And she said, well, you're a singer and people are going to love you, and all your friends at church are always going to support you and buy your CDs. She said, but you're never going to be a headliner. They're not going to bring you in as the main event. And it's like, well, okay, just kill my heart right here on this thing. I said, I'm thinking I'm hiring you as an artist coach to help me get to the next level. She said, but what I do know is what you are really excellent. And I'm thinking, okay. And she said, you're a speaker. And I said, no, I'm not. And she said, yes, you are. What have you been doing for the last 20 years? And sure enough, she was right. But it took me a few weeks for me to look at that and realize that I was already doing it. I was already at that point been leading Mary Kay meetings. I'd spoken at the conventions. I'd led retreats. So yes, I was a speaker. I was doing the activity of a speaker, just not calling myself that, right? So what is it that you're doing already that you think is no big deal? You think it's really easy because it's easy for you. It's in your giftings. You feel comfortable there. that within that realm, as you begin to pull that back, that's where your wow factor is. That's the thing that sets you apart. That's part of your it factor, if you like that better. That is where your clout is, your sphere of influence. Because think about it, and each of you, this would be a really good thing for you to think about and to do this week, is to look at your area of influence. You may have an influence in your church. Maybe you're active and you teach a Sunday school class, or you sing in the choir, or you're on different committees. So you have a sphere of influence within your church. Maybe you work a full-time job outside the home, and so you have other employees, or you have people that you work with every day, that you go to lunch with. Those are people that are in your sphere of influence. So think of all the different activities. Maybe you volunteer someplace else besides your church. Maybe you work, you volunteer at a women's shelter, or there's so many places I can't even begin to imagine. I mean, and to list them for sure. So what is your sphere of influence, and what is the difference that you want to make, right? What is that difference that you want people to remember you? The place that you want to, where you really want to let your light shine. And again, it doesn't have to be big and bold and on a stage, but sometimes that being a really great friend to someone is a way that you're shining. You know, the Bible tells us to not hide your light under a bushel. So if you're just shining, and you might not think it's very bright, but that difference you're making can change somebody's life. It can make their day. It can help them just think about things a little bit differently. So that is your clout. And again, I recommend the book Jenny Catron's, Catron, because something inside all of us wants to count. Each one of us wants to have significance. We want to make it. We do want to make a difference. Sometimes we get so stuck where we are, and we're thinking, is this all there is? And ladies, I really do understand where you're coming from. Sometimes it could be a new mom at home just beginning to raise her children, and sometimes it's easy to just feel like you're there by yourself, and all you do is change diapers and do the next feeding and prepare the dinner and clean the house, right? And it's a blessing. It's wonderful to do. I think there's no greater gift. I mean, I treasure the time that I was able to be home with my kids. But sometimes it just seems like, I need a little more. I need to fill my spirit. How can I make a difference, right? So when we're looking at your sphere of influence, if you're home with your kids, y'all, that is an amazing place to be. You're setting the tone for your children. You're sharing your faith with them. You're showing them every day how to handle the day-to-day life struggles. When they spill their milk, how are you reacting? You're telling them that, accidents happen. There's accidents in life all the time, and you just clean it up and move on, right? Kind of is the same thing as an adult. We have an accident. We have something, we wreck the car. Somebody bangs into us. So what do? It's an accident. You call the insurance company. You just clean up the mess, do what you need to do, and move on. Y'all, you kind of following me here? So wherever you are in your life, I want you to think about shining. Y'all have heard the expression, to bloom where you're planted. It's the same thing. Wherever you are, make a difference. Okay, I'm going to make a little pause here because I'm going to have a drink of my tea. And good morning to Karen Fillmore. Good morning. And yeah, Kathy, good question. Who's going to be the next Surge member? I want you guys to get on today. Go in there and just sign up. I mean, come on. The first voice messages, one of the other things you're going to get in Surge is every Tuesday and Friday morning, you're going to get a motivational message from me. And just as a way, and that's what I was recording yesterday. It was just so fun, which is what brought this whole conversation up today. And Tina, good morning. I want to see who else I missed. And Sandy, good morning. Yay. Lori Phillips. All right, cool. And it says T. Jason Easley, and I have a feeling that might be Karen. All right, so as you're thinking about that, think and really understand and acknowledge that influence, that clout, that wow factor that you have is what God has given to you in a particular way that's not like anyone else. And y'all know that one of my favorites, I have numerous favorites, but one of my favorite verses is Jeremiah 1:5, where it says, "Before you were formed, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart." And that is each one of us, each one of you. Because when he planted those special gifts, when he created you and put you together as this wonderful package that you are, the spirit and the talents and all the things that make you you, he gave you that so that you can have influence and that you can make a difference in the world. One of my other favorites is in Philippians 2:14, and it says, "Shine in this crooked and depraved world," it starts off and says, "shine like stars in the universe." And y'all, for a long time, I couldn't figure out why I had this like exuberant personality. And yet in the church, my understanding was, that was my own maybe misunderstanding, but part of it was because it was Baptist church and that's what they taught. But you were never supposed to bring attention to yourself, right? It was always to bring glory to God, which is what I always want to do. That is my heart's desire, that all that I say and all that we do will always bring glory to him, not to myself, but to him. But when you've got, we each have these different types of personalities, and you think, well, how do you shine and still not bring glory to yourself? So it's kind of this thing that you try to work out with, and you've got clout and you've got the wow factor. And once you discover that and you start walking towards that and making more plans and training and learning how to use those gifts to touch more lives, since that's what it's all about, then you have this thing, well, but I thought I'm not supposed to draw attention to myself, right? So that verse in Philippians was just this, it was like God's gift to me, my affirmation that I wasn't, a mistake with this. He put the wrong personality in my body, right? It was to shine. So in this crooked and depraved and dark generation in the world out there, and I think most of y'all would realize there is a lot of chaos and darkness in the world. There's a lot of evil out there. It says, "In this dark and perverse generation, shine like stars in the universe as you hold out the word of truth." So we can shine, whether it's shining through our children, shining with employees, shining with co-workers at work, shining in your church, sharing that with all of your spheres of influence wherever you go, those special things that God's given to you. If you have, maybe one of your gifts is that you have just great empathy for people and you just really can feel and know where they are. Y'all, that is shining, because not all of us have that. I really care about people and I really love you and I really want to walk beside you. But empathy, it makes me sound like I'm a terrible person. I never really said this out loud. I don't have the gift of empathy. I can't really feel what's inside of you unless I've actually walked through that particular thing myself. So I do a lot of coaching based on the things that I've experienced. So what are the things that you've experienced? What are the things that you understand and you know because you've walked in those shoes? So I hope y'all are understanding where I'm coming from. So that's really about the shining, to shine your light no matter where you are, to bloom where you're planted, to make a difference, to use your clout and your wow factor. All right, I'm going to scroll down here again. Hi, Karen. Good morning. And Karen, I got your message, but I was in the studio yesterday, so I'll answer today, okay? I'll get back with you for sure. Darcy, good morning. So nice to see you on today. And let me see here. I'm scrolling backwards, so that's why I'm not looking at y'all. Lori says, sometimes we bloom where we're planted. We find out where we're going to end up. Oh, very true. And I really believe, I'm so glad you said that, Lori, because I think because life is a journey, that as you're going through, sometimes you don't really even like where you are. You might be in a job where you can't wait to get out. Maybe you are miserable in your job working for someone else, or maybe you are just unhappy. But here's the thing. If you will do what you are doing right now, if you will work as unto the Lord, if you will be cheerful and bloom where you're planted, then God can take your heart and he can bless you and show you what's next. But there is more than likely, there is a lesson that you are learning in this place of discomfort. Or there's someone God needs you to touch because you're special, right? You're unique, and only you at this moment in time can touch that particular person. So maybe God needs you. Well, need is a big word, because God doesn't really need us, but he uses us and allows us to make a difference for him. You know, it's not like he couldn't just take care of it himself, but he allows us to have the blessing of working, of him working through us. So as you're blooming, wherever it is you are in that job, yes, can you be looking for another job? Of course. Look for another job. Reach out, find what's out there. But in the meantime, do what you do with a cheerful heart. Do it as unto the Lord. Say, Lord, you know that this is not that I'm not in a healthy situation. Could be in a situation where you have a boss or someone who's mean to you. So yes, be looking for a change. But in the meantime, bloom where you're planted. Do the best you can. Shine your light and share that light with others, so that then when God, opens up that next door or that next path, you are ready to go because you have accomplished what he set out for you to do. And I so believe that God goes before us. He is already, right now, this minute, he is already preparing what's next for you. Just like in the in Joshua and in the Old Testament, when the Israelites were going into the promised land, God went before them and he said, "Be bold and courageous, for I have gone before you. I have prepared the way." He had already prepared the land, prepared the people. Did they have just walk in? Was it a piece of cake? No. They still had to work. They had to fight, actually. They had to go in and fight the different areas in order to take them over. So what are you fighting for? Maybe that's it. Maybe there's things in your life that you need to release. Maybe you know that there's something that's so important to you. You're going to have to fight for it. You're going to have to give it that extra effort. You're going to have to give it that extra oomph. You're going to have to use your wow factor to make it all happen, right? So think about those things. It's a lot to think about this morning, but I want you to really realize that you do have clout. You do have influence. You make a difference in people's lives every day. And let me just see if there's anybody else. Oh, thank you, Darcy. And back to you, sweetie. And Candy, good morning. So I'll wave to Candy. Okay, we are coming to the end of our time. So as y'all know, in all these months that I have been doing the Facebook Live, today's first morning that I've actually done my own little commercial. So I did do that at the beginning, and if y'all that came in late, you missed it. But I encourage you to please go to delindalane.com/surge, SURGE, because I want you to start connecting on a deeper level. I want to connect with you on a deeper level. But I want all of you to connect in a deeper way, in a way to help you in your personal life, in your family life, in the struggles that we have just as women. I want you to also have a way that you can grow your business and network with each other, for Pete's sake. I mean, come on, Seattle to New York to Dallas and to Atlanta and Kansas City and Las Vegas. Just imagine with me as we grow together how much influence you're going to have, but how much you're going to learn by sharing with all these other women. You each have great things to share, and that's what it's all about. So, Sherry, hi, good morning. Let me see what you say. Yes, you're right. God does need us, she says. God created us for his purpose. He chose to set up the world. Let me see here. I have to go to, oops, wait a minute. I'm trying to read your thing here. God chose to set up the world for us to need each other for his purpose. Love your info. Thanks for sharing for God's glory. Thank you, Sherry. I appreciate that. Yes, we are here to share with each other, to lift each other up, to come together. And in the old days, so to speak, families stayed together. More often than not, families were together, on the farms. I wish Janice Plummer was on here, because she talks about that, how, the women would all come together and they did quilting, and sometimes they would do different things, and they would share their lives. They would share their stories while they were sharing in activities. Here's what Susie's doing, and what do I do about Johnny? And my kids, they're just, they're driving me crazy. I'm not sure what to do. And the women would share with each other, and the older women would mentor the younger women, and the younger women would give new ideas on ways to maybe try things. So it really is a way of us coming together. That is the point. So share your influence. Look at what your wow factor is. And if you need help figuring that out, I really would love to share that with you. I would love to give you some ideas on how to discover that within yourself. So here we are. It's the end of our time. These Tuesday mornings go so fast, and I so appreciate you. Your time is the greatest gift that you can give to anyone, and I so appreciate you sharing that time with us today, to share that with me, to come on and be part of the group this morning. So as you go out this week, I always love to close and to remind you that life is not a matter of chance. It's a matter of choice. So choose wisely. Go out and make it a great week. Go out and make it a fabulous week. Go out and influence others and share your gift. And for goodness sakes, make a difference as you go. All right. Mwah. Love you guys. Have a wonderful day.